Today, as we celebrate these graduates, we are also celebrating the many milestones, which include competency-based education and training, dual training, recognition of prior learning. I hope everybody here seated here now knows what recognition of prior learning is. Your Excellency, we passed the recognition of prior learning policy last year. And what we have done is that we have established a directorate of recognition of prior learning at Kaiboi National Polytechnic, so that all those who have skills and they are not certified can liaise with any. I've not said you can only go to Kaiboi, any institution, including this one. It will be purely the principal's responsibility to liaise with Kaiboi National Polytechnic and see how the assessment and the certification is going to be done here at Kaiboi National Polytechnic. And tomorrow, Your Excellency, I'll be in Kisii National Polytechnic with Estalno here. Because at Kisii National Polytechnic, we are now retraining the assessors of RPL, and we are also coming up with the tools of recognition of prior learning, so that we know exactly what we are looking for before we certify you. So hapa watu wasianze kusema ati tunapeana certificate kiolera. Hakuna. Tomorrow I am going to oversee the training of the assessors and the tools that are going to be used to assess those who are out there, so that we certify them. Na wanaweza pia kwenda kazi majuu, wanaweza get government tenders because they now have the papers. So that, again, Your Excellency, is something we are doing very actively. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to commend Kaiboi National Polytechnic management for successfully organizing this graduation ceremony. There is evidence of prudent management and sound cooperation as an institution. Congratulations, and to you graduates, I wish to reiterate my pride in you, and this is honest. I am about students or young people who take their space so seriously that they learn to the end. And Your Excellency, I was at PC Kenyanjui the other day. We are again graduating quite a large number of students. And what I told the principal, and I'm now telling you, Tioni, make sure you have the booklet. Well, ajana na Tioni nataka asikia hii. I want you to have the booklet that has all the people who are graduating locked up somewhere. Make sure you know everybody who is graduating here, that they are properly crafted into that book, and you put it somewhere away, because you will have others coming, God knows from where, and they will come with a graduation booklet, and they will say, si unaona hii ni njina yangu, hiyo ni yao. Yako must be the one that you know who graduated, who went to class and actually graduated. Your Excellency, in my former life at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, we had so many people coming up with booklets and saying, mimi niligraduate. Hata ona picha nilivaa garlands. Kwani hapa huyu wako na garlands? Hizo vitu ati niligraduate. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Msema kweli ni hiyo booklet. Na wengine hawako, kwa hiyo booklet itakuwa na Tioni. Alafu sasa, Your Excellency, from my former life, I am always getting boarded to go to court to actually testify that Kitul here was never in school. And I'm giving an example of Kitul because many of these people I'm talking about are his caliber. Ama caliber ya huyu jamani wangu anaitwa Meli na vile namuogopa kwa sababu. So please make sure we are doing the right thing and that you can be held accountable for what you have achieved, because you have actually achieved it, but not a question of faking your way through. With those many, na ninyi si mmesikia maprinciple? Aka hiyo kitabu vizuri. With those many remarks, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say I am very glad to be here. I am very happy to see you going through this. Thank you very much for listening to me. And as you go there, may the hand of our Lord lead you. May you have your doors open. And I also love the chairman, that if they can't open, create yours. Si wengine wenu hapa mmeonyeshwa kutengeneza milango. Tengeneza yako ifunguke. Na ikifunguka ita wengine wakuje muingie na wao. Si ndio? May the Lord bless you. Thank you very much for listening to me. And it is now oh, my sister has told me she's the one to come. I thought it was me. God bless you.
Makofi kwa Daktari Esther Moria. Thank you very much for talking to us and the many words of wisdom that you have shared with us. Allow me to inform this congregation that what she has shared about keeping those records of graduation lists is already working. Those of us who are in political space, before IEBC clears you, we need from the booklet ile ya graduation yako kudhibitisha kwamba ulihitimu na ukapita na ukagraduate. Kwa hivyo jambo ambalo dada amegusia ni jambo la muhimu ili sote, let us not play, let us not fake. Sometimes they say fake it until you make it. But this one, in this day and age, you need to be proficient, you need to be equipped, you need to be skilled. Guest of honor, sir, we in this county have tried our best to enhance opportunities for persons getting TVET education. Under the purview of county governments, we have vocational training centers. And one of the disparities that we experience is that for those who are going to our TTIs, or technical training colleges, they are supported through support of the new funding model. How we pray that that could be reviewed to include those ones who are going to our vocational training centers so that we are able to equip as many young people as possible. It is now my singular honor and privilege to welcome His Excellency Governor Stephen Sang to come and address this congregation.
Asante sana, Deputy Governor. Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Daktari Mudavadi, the Principal Secretary, the Principal, the Chair, colleague leaders, graduates, our parents, and the entire Kaiboi National Polytechnic fraternity. Good afternoon. I know time is gone. Your Excellency, when this institution reached out to me and the head of public service to get them a guest, we had a chat with the area member of parliament, Mheshimiwa Abraham Kirwa, and we unanimously settled on you. One, because of the role that you do in the running of our government, but more particularly because of the friendship that you have had with this county and this constituency. And I want to thank the institution and yourself, because when the initial date was 7th, and when we realized that your schedule would not allow, we persuaded you to give us this day. And in a very special way, I want to thank the principal and the chairman and the Kaiboi National Polytechnic fraternity for being flexible to allow us to move the graduation from Friday to Monday to accommodate your schedule, Your Excellency, and that today you are here. And we want to thank you in a very special way. Tumpigie makofi Daktari PDS. Secondly, Your Excellency, I know again the same institution might come for us next year. I want to load that responsibility of getting us the next graduation chief guest to you. Wewe ndio utatutafutia the chief guest at next graduation. The second graduation at Kaiboi National Polytechnic will be by yourself, Your Excellency. And most likely, the guest I hear they want to have here might be the head of state, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya. So, sisi tunakupatia hiyo juhudi, na hii ni notice ya 1 year ahead. I am sure you can be able to work within the 1 year ahead of you to get us that guest. And the reason, Your Excellency, why we also need the head of state to visit us here is because of 2 things. The elevation of this institution into a national polytechnic is not an end in itself. It is the start of a journey. The institution here requires infrastructure upgrade and support and expansion so that then we can be able to meet the status of a national polytechnic. And we hope, Your Excellency, that you are coming here today and the support by the Ministry of Education and the TVET, together with your office and the support we get from national government, that this institution will be upgraded and that the facilities and the infrastructure, including the training and the equipment, will be upgraded so that we can be able to serve more young men and women who want to gain skills. Today, and I want to congratulate the graduates, 1,611 who are graduating today. Pongezi, congratulations on your achievement. But I'm sure in the next phase of things, we will be having over 2,000, over 3,000 graduates in this institution. And therefore, Your Excellency, we want to appreciate the reforms, and I want to thank the PS. She has been able to raise a number of the things that we have always raised are already being addressed by the State Department, including shortening the time that our students take to acquire skills in our institutions. If we can be able to reduce them even by half, start by reducing it to 1 year, then move to reducing it to 6 months, that will shorten the time. It will lessen the burden of paying school fees for our parents and our students, but also it will give them an opportunity to join the job market and contribute towards the building of our country. Your Excellency, TVET is the way to go. There is no country in the world that has industrialized outside the purview of TVET and skills. And therefore, if this country has to industrialize, be able to create jobs for our young men and women, then we must be able to put our emphasis within TVET training institutions, and we are excited with what is happening nationally. Finally, on that small issue, Your Excellency, is that we know that the funding model has had some bit of challenges, particularly under the university funding model. But Your Excellency, it will interest you to know that the funding model has never had an issue with the TVET. In fact, for TVETs, it is working. The only challenge that we now have is that this funding model by TVET is conjoined with the university funding model, so that the small discussions that are going on around the university funding model is affecting the TVET, yet the new funding model was already working and is positively working for our TVETs. If we can find a way of separating, so that then the funding model under TVET institutions can be rolled out full blast, while the discussion around fixing here and there the few issues around the university funding model can be addressed. So, Your Excellency, we are asking that even as you take this message, let us separate and allow the TVET funding model to be rolled out, because already it is an improvement from the current funding model. It's likely to support a lot of our children and our students within our TVET institution. Finally, Prime Cabinet, you are here when we came with the President and we talked to these wonderful people of Mosop and Nandi. We are excited about some of the programs that the national government has already rolled out in our counties. Your Excellency, there is one particular road that supports this institution. The road from Kipkaren all the way to Kaiboi, and the road from Kaiboi all the way to Kapsisiyo. This is a road, Your Excellency, that was abandoned midway, and this other road is about 20 kilometers.
We have already gotten funding for the road from here to Chepterwoi, across all the way to Kapkatembu. We have also some roads that we have agreed, Your Excellency, that we need link roads between Nandi and Kakamega, so that we open up the market between Nandi and Kakamega for purposes of business. But
the people in Rift Valley to take advantage of all the development programs and the institutions in Kakamega and the ones in Nandi. We are asking, Your Excellency, that you give priority, particularly to this inter-county road network that is going to open up the space and allow our children and our people and our business people to do business across the counties for the good of our people. And therefore, Prime Cabinet Secretary, you are the chief guest. We want to hear you today. I want to shorten my remarks to that and take this opportunity as my greatest pleasure to invite our Prime Cabinet Secretary and the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs to be upstanding and be able to speak to us. Karibu, Your Excellency, sir.
Please be seated. Your Excellency, Governor Stephen Sang, Governor of Nandi County, Dr. Esther Thara Moria, Principal Secretary, State Department for Tibet, our leaders, the Honorable Meli, who is also the Chair of the Education Committee in Parliament, Honorable Kitur, Honorable Cynthia Muge, and of course, in absentia, Honorable Kirwa, the Chairman of Kaiboi National Polytechnic, Dr. James Sang, the Chief Principal, Abdu Tione, all leaders present, Tibet principals, and most of all, graduates, parents, guardians, and stakeholders. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by saying good afternoon. Let me also extend an apology because I came in late. We were supposed to have started early in the morning, but our assignments sometimes can take a quick turn. So this morning I had to meet a delegation of the IMF, International Monetary Fund, because we are also negotiating to wind up our program, which has been running, and to start developing a new program which relates to the management of the economy. And in the process, there is something they are calling the governance diagnostic, and also diagnostic on anti-corruption measures, which they wanted us to discuss. So please bear with me for that delay. My first message also extends to the people of Mosop, all of you, for bearing your time without the area of Member of Parliament being present. So let me join you in praying and wishing that the Honorable Abraham Kirwa, who is my friend, will recover soonest and be able to resume his assignment with you. We all wish him well, and we know God will guide his recovery. Let me also, at the very outset, confirm that what Governor Sang said is true. They were able to talk to me with the Honorable Felix Koske, and it became difficult to say no. So I am here. And I also bring felicitations from President Ruto. We spoke last night and I told him I'll be coming here. And pia yeye anasema heko kwenu. So let me make my formal remarks and then I'll just add one or two things. It is a great honor for me to join you here today for the first graduation ceremony of Kaiboi National Polytechnic since it was upgraded from a technical training institute last year. This is a significant milestone, not just for the people of Mosop constituency and Nandi County, but for the entire. It reaffirms the government's commitment to enhance the contribution of the technical and vocational education and training sector to economic and social development. We are proud to be standing on the ground that His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto prepared when he commissioned the Jitume Digital Skills Laboratory and laid the foundation stone for an information and communication technologies complex in January last year. The moment is here for us to celebrate the first 1,614 graduates who have completed their learning experience in this distinguished institution. I recognize you for your hard work, dedication, and achievements. Your graduation marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of the new. Exciting opportunities that ahead that will shape your future. Let me extend my heartfelt congratulations to all of you graduates and acknowledge your trainers, families, and the communities you come from for supporting you through this remarkable journey. Your success is a testament to the government's unwavering resolve to grow and develop the TVET sector to produce skills that will support Kenya's priority sectors and enhance its global competitiveness in line with the bottom-up transformation agenda. Through the TVET network, we are building a workforce that is not only skilled, but also adaptable, innovative, and prepared to meet the demands of current and future industries. We are also promoting equity and inclusion by ensuring that each constituency has at least one TVET institution. We have made strides. That is a very serious matter. One TVET institution constituency. We have made significant strides in reforming the sector to ensure that it is aligned with global trends, industry standards, and the needs of our growing workforce. In this regard, we are upgrading and modernizing TVET institutions to enhance their relevance and responsiveness to the manpower needs of our growing economy. These reforms focus on enhancing the quality of education and training, improving access to TVET programs, and ensuring that what is taught in these institutions directly addresses the needs of the labor market. As part of these reforms, the Cabinet has approved the dual training policy, and you heard the Principal Secretary make reference to this, that formalizes the integration of theoretical learning and hands-on training in industries. This historic decision is a game changer, as it will ensure that trainees who have been constrained by skills mismatch to the needs of our industries can now graduate with cutting-edge skills to entrepreneurship or local and international labor markets. This policy will also enable TVET institutions to fully implement the robust competency-based education training curriculum that was rolled out in September 2023. The training focuses on practical skills and outcomes that ensure TVET trainees are knowledgeable and highly skilled in areas most needed by industries. The government has further made substantial investments in upgrading of TVET institutions, infrastructure, including providing modern equipment and learning tools. It has also enhanced investments in the training and development of TVET instructors, particularly in new technologies and methodologies. We have recently recruited 2,000 trainers to bridge the trainer deficit in the TVET sector, while enhancement of the recognition of prior learning framework has formalized the competencies of artisans who have gained skills through work experience or informal learning. As I conclude the formal remarks, let me appreciate the council, management, students, and stakeholders of Kaiboi National Polytechnic for hosting this great gathering. You have a great opportunity to position this institution in Kenya's socio-economic transformation journey by developing mutually beneficial linkages with the local community and the industries that will engage your graduates now and in the future. God bless you all, and thank you. Your Excellency Governor Sang, Madam PS, maybe let me just emphasize one or two issues that are critical. One, I just want to underscore the TVET program in Kenya is now becoming a reference point for many other countries. It is becoming the upon which others are beginning to see how to move forward. And I'm very proud to say that Madam PS here has been extremely passionate, and we really commend her in pursuing the growth of TVET in our country, together with her entire team. What you are doing is so important. I really want to thank you, all of you, collectively and individually, on behalf of the government. Now, there are one or two issues that I'll just flag so that I don't take too much time. These good people want to be given the power to go and do what pertains to their training. But let me just flag about one or two issues. First, it's the funding program. In a few days' time, because there was a team that was appointed, a working group, a task force that was put together to look at the issues surrounding the funding program. And I know they have completed their report. They should be submitting it in a few days' time. And I believe, after broad consultations across the board, they have been able to identify where the challenges are. And in their recommendations, we shall have a lasting solution so that we can deal once and for all and in a sustainable manner with the issue of the funding of our institutions at the university level. And indeed, as you say, at the TVET, it has been functioning quite well. So I want to assure you on behalf of the government and on behalf of the Ministry of Education that this is underway, and you'll be able to get to know the details of the findings and the recommendations in a few days' time. Let me also just say that sometimes sisi wanasiasa tunaenda mbali. You will remember the debate that was there on the CBC. If you will recollect, it was a hot issue, very hot. And some were saying, scrap it, abandon it. It became even a very hot political issue. If you wanted to get makofi, upigiwe makofi kwa jukwaa when you were campaigning, panda pale, hii CBC inamaliza wazazi, inamaliza wanafunzi, inamaliza nani? Toa. That was the shortcut. That was the simplistic thing to do. And it had problems, it had teething problems. But gradually, we have overcome those challenges. And therefore, I want to give you hope that we shall also overcome the funding challenge. We overcame the other one, we are going to overcome this one. That is very important. And as we sit here, we have a very able chair of the Education Committee in Parliament is here, a son of the soil. And he has done a good job and he'll do a good job. And I'm sure through Parliament, they will also help us to quickly see that the appropriate recommendations that come out of the task force will be quickly implemented. And where there is need to adjust any legislation through his committee in this space, they will accelerate so that we quickly finish that matter and we move forward. So I want you to have faith and confidence that this will be resolved. Now, the other thing, and the graduates, be strong, be steadfast, be young men and women of integrity. I came from Geneva the other day on behalf of the government, and I had a chance to meet with the Director General of World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi, and the message she said is this: when you go back to your country, tell them that the honeymoon around aid is over. The honeymoon is over. Globally, the honeymoon is over. Now we must shift gear and we must compete for investment and trade. In history, you read about the scramble for Africa. Around it. Now, we must look at it in the reverse, that we must scramble for investment and trade. And you shall not get investment and trade if you do not have a skilled manpower. Lazima uwe na watu wenye ujuzi, wenye tajriba, wenye wanafahamu kile mwekezaji anataka. Na ndio nyinyi sasa. Tunawataka, tunawahitaji, Kenya inawataka, inawahitaji, kwa sababu kupitia kwenu ndio tutafutia wale investors wakuje katika Kenya, kwa sababu hiyo ndio scramble mpya, na tuachane na mambo ya aid. So we need you, we need your skills. Capital goes to where there is good skill. Ukienda kwa nchi ambayo watu hawana ujuzi, hawana nini, investors wanapotea, wanaenda kwingine. So Kenya has got an opportunity to really be at the forefront in this competitive area where we are now going for investments and trade and production. So you have everything cut out for you, and we must provide the enabling environment ile ambayo itamsukuma na nyinyi mwende mbele. And in all this, we need a stable government, we need peace, we need unity of the country, and we need to be a democratic nation. That is important. Hiyo ni ya muhimu sana. Msidanganywe. mtu asilete porojo wengine hapa ya kusema iko shortcut ama nini. Hapana. We just have to walk the straight and narrow road to make sure that Kenya is on the right path. Kwa hivyo, I want to wish you graduates all the success as you move out to either gain employment or also to generate employment as you move forward. Sio tu kuandikwa ama kuajiriwa, pia na nyinyi nikiangalia, nikitazama, you can also do it. You can also do it. Tazama mwenzako ambaye yuko karibu na wewe, muangalie kwa uso, muulize, will you be an employee or an employer? That is the message, so that we can all work to move forward. Finally, kwa kisiasa hapa, Mheshimiwa Sang, unajua wewe ni gavana wangu tu. Zile barabara mmesema na nini, if you get the roads, I also benefit. If you say things, I benefit. Kwa hivyo, you have recruited me. I will be part of you kutetea hizo maneno, na jumbe vile umesema tutaungana, so that when there's an opportunity, a good thing that comes to as Kenyans. Na pia nataka niwaambie, yangu majority leader alisema mambo ya earthquake. Najua sasa wewe unataka kuvunja nyumba za wenyewe. Lakini tuko sawa, tunaendelea vizuri, tutashikana so that we can all pool resources to this place. I also want to let you know, as my very good neighbors and friends, najua wakati tulizungumza mambo ya earthquake, tumeenda sasa a notch higher. Sisi kwa ANC na UDA sasa tumeshikana, we are now one. Sasa tunasonga mbele, tukienda mbele, and the judgment will remain with the voter. President akizungumza mambo ya housing, wengine wanapata kelele. Sasa kwanza walitupeleka koti hapa na pale. Sasa juzi nimeona wanasema now where will be the title deeds for the houses, the sectional head, sectional titles. It is the government of the day that generates titles. Please, for heaven's sake, who does land adjudication? Government. Who issues titles? The government. Who created the law to allow the sectional titles? Yani, when you are on top of a flat, sectional title, nile title for the upper floors, not the ground one. Who created the law for sectional titles? Government. So surely, why are you looking for the smallest of things to make it look like the housing program is a problem for the people of Kenya? Always trying to give wrong information. It is the government of the day that issues titles. And there's a procedure to issue titles, including the sectional titles. So don't mislead on a matter like this. I've just told you the honeymoon on aid is over. Mambo ya health, the international community, particularly the Western powers and the new administration in the United States, has got a different AIDS policy. Aid policy. Now, the funding for health programs is being put back to the governments in those countries. Tuachane na kufikiri sasa mtu mwingine atakuja kufanya health programs zetu. Ni sisi wenyewe, the government of Kenya, the government of Uganda, the government of Tanzania, the government of where, you name those governments, has come to a standstill. Now, we may have some challenges on the universal health care, which we must all collectively address, the ones that are here and there, just the way we are talking of challenges in the funding program where we need to address. We will do that. But I want to ask you now, was it a premonition, or what was it that led the government of Kenya to pursue aggressively the need to have a proper and functioning universal health care program? Now that aid is being cut, it's being removed, ladies and gentlemen, even if you don't like the government, but at least acknowledge one thing. There was foresight, they were planning ahead, because now we are in the area where aid has been cut. So who is going to care for the sick in Kenya? Because the international, ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to take care of your sick anymore. The sick in your countries must be taken care of by yourselves. So what do we do? Na mimi nazungumza hapa kwa sababu, kwa mfano, kwa aid program, AIDS and what have you. In Kenya, we have citizens who are affected, about 1.3 million Kenyans, and the government of Kenya funds about 60% of their program, and the international community was funding up to 40%. I only want to give the example of Kenya. I don't want to talk about other countries. There are others where they rely 100% on donor assistance. So the government of Kenya must figure out, how do we meet the gap of 40% that is no longer going to be available from the international community? We have to do it. As a responsible government, we have to fund. If we were irresponsible, we would say we shall do nothing about it. So the 40% who are relying on international funding can then just disappear into the wilderness. A responsible government cannot do that. And the government of President William Ruto is a responsible government, and therefore, that's why you have a universal health care program, so that we can systematically find a way of catering for all Kenyans, irrespective of their station in life. Na hapo ndio mimi na imekuja hapa kusema, kama jirani wenu, tusipige siasa na maisha ya watu. Tutoe suluhu, tufikirie, tujadiliane, pahali sheria lazima ibadilishwe, tubadilishe kupitia kwa bunge na kwa county assemblies, alafu tusaidie Wakenya wetu. Kwa hivyo, kama nimeongea zaidi, mtanisamehe, lakini niliona mimi kama mmoja wenu na nimefurahi kwa sababu hamkupiga makofi. Hiyo ni dalili kuonyesha it is so important to listen keenly
to what somebody is very
Utaniruhusu niweze kumkaribisha naibu mwalimu mkuu James Odwar aweze kuendeleza ratiba inayofuata. Karibu sana sana.
Guest of honor, sir, distinguished guests, graduates, parents, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I take this opportunity to welcome all to our function. I'll be calling upon the chief guest in a while to confer the diplomas and certificates to our graduates. Guest of honor, sir, may I call upon the heads of department to